Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. Are you a caregiver dreaming of moving to New Zealand? In today's live stream, I'll show you exactly how you can find caregiver jobs. Caregiver jobs, not just jobs, but jobs that offer visa sponsorships. I'm going to show you how you can find accredited employers. We all know the UK immigration system is slightly changing, and we do not know what will become of caregivers or jobs, skilled jobs that require you to renew your visa. Getting a plan B is the way forward. Hi, welcome to my channel and good morning. Thank you for joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're viewing from. Let me know in the comment section. The UK job sector, when you get an employer who would give you a visa sponsorship, that visa sponsorship is called the COS, right? But for New Zealand, their employers are expected to be accredited employers. So take it this way, you get a job offer, and that employer, good afternoon, thank you for joining. Take it this way that you get a job offer, and that employer is not an accredited employer, and you apply for the work visa. Chances are that you would not get that work visa. As always, when I make my live stream, good afternoon and thank you for joining, everybody. So blessed and pleased to have you on here today. So, as always, I would share my live with you today and the website. There's no gatekeeping. It's been a while I did the live stream, but rather than waiting to edit videos, let's hop onto it. So, this will be a step-by-step guide based on New Zealand immigration official requirements. So, try as much as possible to stick to the end. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. My name is Uche Agor. On this channel, I help people by providing information that will help them relocate abroad. I get up-to-date information from official websites so that the information that I give to the general public are verifiable and they are true. But for today's video, we'll be focusing on New Zealand caregiver roles. This is a profession that is in high demand. And this is one of the professions that will give you a pathway to permanent residency. Okay, so background history for people who are watching, you all know if you're already a caregiver, you know what it entails caring for people. It could be elderly in aged care homes, it could be people living with disabilities, it could be providing home health support to individuals. These are in high demand. Based on research, for you to qualify for caregiver roles with sponsorship, you need to have experience, at least 1 year experience in elderly care, disability support, or home-based care. You need to have the ability to speak English. If your role is in the skill level 4 or 5, you may need to prove your English language requirements with tests like IELTS unless you're exempt. Now, still on the eligibility and the requirements, you need to have a medical check done and you need to pass that. You need to have a police clearance from the country that you have lived in for the last 5 years. You need to have a job offer from an accredited employer. So how can you find this job offer from the websites and how would you know they are accredited? So that is the purpose of this video. For you to get a work visa, you must have a full-time job offer from an accredited employer. And let me share my screen real quick with you. All right. So I will start by sharing the New Zealand government website, of which this is one of the key important roles where you can get the right information. So let's do it this way so that it will be bright for everybody. All right, so on this government website, this is the New Zealand government website, and this is where you can find the accredited employer list. You can use this tool to search for employers that are accredited, and you can also use this website to apply for your work visa. How can you use this website? Let's say you go on the websites that have jobs available. Next thing for you to do is to come on this government website, the New Zealand government website, and put in the New Zealand business number of that employer or their company name or their trading name. This is just to ensure that they are accredited. What I have done here for you today is to go on this keyword and search for healthcare. Healthcare roles. Now, let me remind you that you can find healthcare assistant roles, caregiver roles, the job titles. Sometimes people say they're searching for jobs, but my question would be, are you searching for these jobs with the right job title? So the job titles for you to search for healthcare assistant, search for aged care worker, you can search for personal care assistant, you can search for residential support worker. These are job titles that you can find roles and cycle under caregiver roles, but they have different names depending on what your experience is and what you're looking for. In addition, what you need to apply, you need to have a valid passport, nothing less than 6 months. You need to have that job offer from an accredited employer, your police clearance, your medical check, and evidence of your caregiving experience. This evidence could be from your reference, okay? So back to the accredited employer website, I have searched for healthcare and 50 results of healthcare companies that are recruiting. These are people who can give you that job offer and they are accredited. So having said that, on this website as well, if we go back to the website, this is what it's going to show. What are the key requirements straight from the government website so that you will see for yourself who can apply for this visa. You need to have a full-time job offer, meets the skill requirements. They are just basically the same thing that I have mentioned to you right now. All right, so next on my list is to share this website with you. If you want to search for these jobs by yourself, let me put this disclaimer out there. I am not an immigration consultant. This video is based on research and is based to give out the right information to the general public. So please do well to do your own research as well. So when you want to look for jobs in New Zealand, caregiver jobs in New Zealand, this is Seek website, and this website is seek.co.nz. If you did not get it or you need me to put that in the comment section, let me know below. This is what the website looks like. This is seek.co.nz. Now, the keywords here that you can put in, like I already mentioned, you can put in healthcare assistant, you can put in aged worker or aged care worker, you can put in personal care assistant, and you can put in residential support worker. These are keywords that you can use to search for the job. The next website on my list to share with you today is trademe.co.nz. So on trademe.co.nz, I just typed in healthcare assistant roles. These are 131 results for healthcare assistant roles that are in New Zealand. Remember, even though there are 131 job roles or from companies that are offering healthcare assistant roles, your major aim is to be sure that they are accredited. Thank you for joining. If you're following, let me know where you're watching from. And if you're replaying this video at any time, let me know you are replaying in the comment section. All right. This promises to be quick because the longer the video, the more boring it becomes. So on trademe.co.nz, this is where you find healthcare assistant roles. Our major role is, are they accredited employers? How can you find out? You just need to open the website, get the name of that employer. Like this one is Avon Life Care. So a live demonstration would be, let's go back to the New Zealand website and we are going to type Avon Healthcare. So this is going to be a practical demonstration. If we do not see Avon Healthcare on this website, then you know they are not accredited. So Avon Healthcare, let's search. No results were found. So this simply means that they are not accredited based on the research on this government website. That is how you can find out if they are accredited. Another website you can find healthcare assistant role or caregiver roles is on nz.jura.com. nz.jura.com. This is what the website looks like. There are over 1,000 jobs, but just narrow your search to the job title that you're searching for. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop the question on the live stream or in the comment section. I am more than happy to answer. If you're already in the process and you've gotten an employer or you've relocated to New Zealand through this pathway, please also drop it in the comment section. In 2025 and beyond, I am after helping people and not hoarding any information that I have. All right, I would just double check that I've shared all the website. This is another website you can find job roles in New Zealand, most especially for the purpose of this video, healthcare assistant roles in New Zealand. And the website is workhere.co.nz. Workhere.co.nz. This is where you're going to search for the job roles and search for your keywords, as well as going to be the 4 that we have listed. Just to be sure you're following, what are the 4 titles that I mentioned that you can use to search for job roles? All right, so I went on and I made more research and I found this website. This website has just narrowed different healthcare roles. So healthcare, New Zealand's aging population and rural healthcare challenges mean that healthcare sector is in high demand for skilled professionals such as doctors, nurses, and allied health workers. Healthcare assistants, support worker, caregivers, they all fall under allied health workers. So this website is showing that these are the top 4 companies that are hiring in New Zealand. You can take a screenshot of it. They are hiring doctors, nurses, and specialists. They are hiring and offering healthcare professional roles, rehabilitation services. Bupa New Zealand is a private healthcare provider focusing on aged care on rehabilitation services. Med Recruits is a recruitment agency and it specializes in placing medical professionals across New Zealand. The purpose of this video is for healthcare. Even if you're not in healthcare, you can search for the role that you require and do the same. It's simply the same step. Let me see if you have any question. Can you pin the websites mentioned here? All right, I will try and put the websites in the comment section so that it's easily accessible. Aged worker, thank you, Maxwell. You're really following this video. All right, that's what I came on here to share with you all. Go on seek.co.nz, go on trademe.co.nz, go on workhere.co.nz, or usually I would say go on Indeed, go on LinkedIn. Those websites are still legit where you can find New Zealand roles. Top tip for everyone who has joined my live stream today. When you find these roles and they ask you to pay for anything right away, that is a red flag. So when you find these roles and you have your interview and they say submit your documents, we're going to send you your job offer, but you need to pay a certain amount, take a pause. That is a red flag. The only thing that you're required to pay for is when you are doing your police clearance and you're paying that to the police department to do a police clearance for you or criminal background check, or you're renewing your passport. That is what you're doing for yourself. And then when you get the job offer and you want to apply for your visa, chances are that you will pay for your visa. That is, you're paying it to the New Zealand immigration website, on the New Zealand immigration website. So that is that information for you. Please, do they accept IELTS? And if yes, what is the required band score for healthcare assistant roles? Based on my research, some of the job roles will require you to provide English language tests, especially if your level of education is around, like you have diploma and all of that. Some of them will require you to have. Band score, I will do a quick research for you for band score. Band score for IELTS, New Zealand. Healthcare workers. I am a student presently. I've done my intern, but I'm not sure with my studies. I would like to know if I'm qualified to apply. I would say finish your studies. Unless you have a degree already and you have experience in healthcare roles or caregiver roles, if you have a degree already and you have experience in caregiving role, apply. But the question would be, are you doing online studying? If you get the job visa, are you able to move to New Zealand right now and forfeit your education? So you sometimes you have to like weigh your option. Sometimes you have to weigh your option. So if your role is assessed at ANZ's core skill level 4 or 5, you must meet a minimum English language requirement as part of your application. And you need to have two options. You need to have your IELTS overall score that I am seeing right here is 4.0. Remember, aim to have more than 4.0 in case that changes and you are not at the point where you did not meet that requirement anymore. So even if they have 4, aim to have more than 4. Please, when can one get a job offer? Please, when one get a job offer, can they move with family? Yes, you can move with your family. Yes, you can move with your family. This is a pathway to permanent residency. So you can move with your family. Yes. I would see if there are other questions. IELTS is not the only English language requirement. Remember, if you have that level 4 or 5, you need the IELTS. There are other options. There are TOEFL, there are OET, and all of that. I have a degree in chemistry, and I worked as a lab technologist in university for 6 years. Okay. Do you have experience in healthcare or do you have experience in caregiving? Have you offered caregiving roles to the aged, to anybody with disability? Have you offered caregiving role as a home support worker, like where you go to people's homes to help them with activities of daily living? That is another thing, because based on this research, they need you to have at least 1 year experience or more in caregiving for you to be able to apply for it. Now, the IELTS band score, that is for people who are applying in that caregiving role. If you're a nurse, doctor, or any profession that requires you to apply to your board in New Zealand, your IELTS score is going to be more than that. So I did my internship. All right, if you have experience, 1 year experience in caregiving, go ahead and apply for the role. Never say never. Just apply for the role. How do I find out information? I have to apply for it. If I don't apply for it, how would I know what they don't want from me? So I would say if you have experience and you have your degree, go ahead and apply for the role. If you apply for the role and you get a feedback, then you definitely know. Someone who just finished midwifery training in Ghana and just done with rotation, do you suggest moving to do HCA and later transition? Do you have up to 1 year work experience? Because that is very important. We're not going to sugarcoat it here for you because I want the very best for you. If you have like 1 year job experience in that healthcare, caregiving, go ahead and apply for it. But if you want to apply and transition later, you also need to apply with New Zealand board, midwifery board, and all of that. So that is what you need to check if you have that experience. So I'm just going to check that I have discussed everything that I aim to discuss in this video. Sometimes when you find roles, make sure that it might be tough, but the cost of living is also affordable for the role that you're getting. So in conclusion, caregiving experience is required at least 1 year. Target accredited employers using the job sites that I mentioned. Apply for your accredited employer work visa. Oh, I am in New Zealand and there is big demand for healthcare workers. I appreciate you for dropping these comments. This is very helpful to my community here on YouTube. So I would say thank you for dropping that. And if you have any other valuable information, please drop them in the comment section. Let's help ourselves. Let's help ourselves as much as we can. So any more questions, I'll respond to them at the end of this live stream in the comment section. That is where you can always find me. If you want a personalized one-on-one session, I do offer that. At the end of this live stream, I'll put it in the description box. I haven't put that in the description box below, or you can find it on my bio on YouTube. Again, my name is Uche Agor, and I thank you for joining my live stream, even though it was unannounced. Thank you. And if it's your first time, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and drop a comment. I would see you in my next video. Bye for now.